do it? Does that do it? That does it. That does it. Hello. 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 Are we good now? By the picking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. There we are. Okay, got it. Got it. I don't know why that happened. I got my dog barking because I'm celebrating. I should. So you missed it. I was playing Patience. That's the whole thing. I started out with Patience because the whole point of the show, the whole title was Simmer Down Now. And I was going to just bring it down. Let's just be calm. Let's have fun. Let's be nice. Let's be happy. But then a funny thing happened as I was doing show prep. I went to X. I went to Twitter. And I started down the rabbit hole. And it's exactly what Ron was talking about. Oh, I'd like to also say I joined the Illuminati. And this is your shirt you get when you join the Illuminati. Rise up with the thing. I didn't. But I thought this is in keeping with the news with Diddy and all that stuff going on in the world, Illuminati. And you know what? Maybe I just need some protection from these organizations that are preying on us. Anyway, let me welcome the people, all you great people. Who do we have? We have Pizza Draft, Hans, Ron, Mike, Flash, Kevin, Patty, Anthony, or I call him Anthony, Ray. Good to see you. Mr. Weapon. I like that. Shakespeare. There it goes. Stephanie's here. Hello. You run a tight ship, Jeffy Jeff. Well, you know, I do it live. Philip's here. Philip Fricassi's here. We're going to talk some Philip Fricassi stuff tonight. A little bit. And that's the other thing. Like, I did not want to rant. I didn't want to rant. I really didn't. I was actually playing nice. I put up on Cemetery Dance's the Cemetery Dance sale on the Jeff Word Facebook group. You know, you know what? If you're not buying a pre-order, it's a safe bet, and you're getting 30% off. The only thing is they included the magazine in that nonsense. I don't know why, but anyway, I don't want to rant, but I'm going to, because there are rabbit holes I went down, and there's a new, I don't know. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Here we got a Schaumenstoffers. It's a German beer. Schaumenstoffers. It's a wimpy ass 4.2 ABV, so I can't blame anything on the alcohol tonight. And look at that. This is carbonated AF. I mean, I know I don't pour that well, but holy shit. Product placement right there. So, what happened to the bucket? Here's the bucket. Yeah, we should have, you know what? No professionalism. Duff bucket. Boom. Beer. Not a Rapture. It's a beer. It's a regular German beer. And I'm going to have to wait till like 10 o'clock tonight for this to collapse and I can enjoy it. So, not ahead of yourself until you pour. Yes. So, what is the Twitter X scandal of the day? I'm reading rumblings about it, but I have no idea what it is. That is funny because I just started down this thing because I'm like, I don't know why I did it. I'm just like, what's going on Twitter before I do the show? What? Oh my God. You know what? Hold on. Look at this. There is literally zero professionalism for this show right now. And there you go. So I got this thread here. So you got Christopher Golden. I happened to stumble across a tweet about the latest piece of shit in this thing we routinely call the horror community. And I have so many thoughts. So this is a thread. Okay, he's got many thoughts. And I went through this a little bit. Basically, it's about this guy, Zach Rosenberg. Not all of these situations are equal. There's zero room for nuance on social media. So discussing nuance is very difficult. Fortunately, in the case of Zach Rosenberg, there seems to be so many receipts. The list of gross behaviors is already long. And look how relieved Christopher Golden is to have receipts. Maybe because you took down Patrick McDonough with no receipts. The guy folded up a podcast, folded up an anthology he was editing for nothing. There was nothing. Nothing. No receipts. So he's like, okay, there are so many receipts. But here he is saying, so a note on that, I saw a post about Zach Rosenberg and went down the rabbit hole, mentioned it to someone, and they said he'd been at my house of last resort weekend back in January. I recognize the name, but no more. So here's the thing. Basically, he's saying, don't pin this on me, man. Oh, you don't like it when the lynch mob starts wrangling in stragglers, people who were standing next to the guy on the gallows. Oh, you don't like that. You don't like it when the shit splatters on you. Well, then don't be so quick to do it. Christopher Golden was one of the first people to say, I ain't here. I'm pulling my story out of New Demons. I'm out. I don't need evidence. I don't need anything. I'm out. And now here he's saying, yeah, so there's evidence, and yeah, I affiliated with this guy, but don't put me under a noose. Don't measure my neck for the noose, because I don't want to be dragged into it. That's too bad. When you're part of this machine that's killing careers with no evidence, you have to wait your turn, because eventually they're going to come for you. It was only because I was procrastinating on social media that I stumbled on that tweet. If you don't see a certain writer's posting like I'm doing now on this or future similar issues, don't assume writers know about the latest shitstorm and through silence are siding with the bad actor. Oh, well, you know what? How about we shut this shit down altogether, handle it like, we used to, and professionally deal with bad actors instead of running out there on your high horse immediately. So this is the problem, Christopher. This is the problem. And it goes on. Every community, every family, every group has bad actors in it. Use the map of your neighborhood on that site that shows you all the sex offenders that live near you in your community. Or go to any town meeting. Drive through your city and notice the Trump signs. So he's just totally conflating things. Like, again, I'm sorry, but when you use your opinion as a cudgel, get ready to be beaten with somebody else's different opinion. Oh my God. Let's please stop thinking that every time we out some shitty person who happens to share an interest in horror stories that somehow some sacred pact has been broken. It hasn't been. There are shitty people everywhere. Horror's no different. And we do need to call them out. Again, this goes on and on. This is never ending. This is a snake eating its own tail. And there's more. And I kind of went into it, but then it got so much that I'm like, I'm not researching Zach Rosenberg. The only thing I saw on him, and again, he could be a monster. I have no idea. But he's basically running around calling everybody who doesn't like him an anti-Semite. And that's pretty bad because, again, now you're talking about identity politics being used as a weapon. This is the problem when you think you're woke and you're creating identity politics. You're gonna get it, and it's gonna cannibalize its own people. Anyway, so apparently the worst thing he wrote that I didn't see were these. He was accusing people of anti-Semitism, which is like, unless you have some sort of rock solid proof and really awful behavior, it can just be a feeling you have that somebody doesn't like you because you're Jewish. You can't just assign that to every bad thing that happens to you. But also people are like saying he tweeted or retweeted a pro-Israel tweet. Again, I would have to see that to understand, oh yeah, that's bad. Or, so the guy's pro-Israel. That is not a reason to crucify him. Like, we need context. We can't just keep going through these things. And we got to do this for Christopher Golden. Blurry. Am I blurry? So it concerns Zach Rosenberg, who did what? I wasn't going to dedicate a lot of time to this to go through. But then this was funny. Here's Brian Keene. To the best of my knowledge, so he's responding to this. I got to read this first. The paranoid, egotistical part of my brain would love to know what certain folk at a certain book event are saying or not saying about me after me being vocal about that abuser helmed anthology, especially since half the attendees have blocked me. So here's Ginger Nuts of Horror. Well, let me take a sip and give you the verdict. Wow, that's like really crappy lemonade. It's like spicy lemonade. It's garbage. Would not recommend, but I'm going to drink it because I'm thirsty. So this is one of the people or the critical person who got Patrick McDonough canceled, my understanding. But again, there was very little there. And now the fallout is such that Ginger Nuts of Horror is being blocked or ostracized. And they feel like they're on the outside. But Brian Keene, I'm like, how did things change so fast? Unless I'm totally missing a chapter and I don't even understand, which is possible, right, Hans? Sometimes. He is a psycho. Oh, okay. Good evening, Iamanos. Good evening, Stephen Wayne Allison Jr. So what was Zach accused of? I still don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He's a psycho. A psycho? Yeah. But he can write? Chad's here. Good to see you, Chad. So, semi-connected. I pre-ordered the Borderlands little book. Oh, yeah. We're going after that, too. I want Mr. Golden to come after me because I love H.P. Lovecraft, an awesome horror writer who happened to be a racist. But I separate the artist from the standing of their work. And I would say that can be problematic. But, like, if you have a guy who's like, for example, if we ever learn really horrible things about Stephen King, like maybe he victimized people, I would quietly take my collection down. Like, if he was... H.P. Lovecraft had racist views, but so did a lot of his contemporaries. And that's not to excuse anybody being hate-filled, but it's to say there are ugly times in the past, right? And we can't relitigate that for eternity. Otherwise, we'll never move beyond it. But anyway, so Ginger Nuts of Horror writes this. And then Brian Keene writes, to the best of my knowledge, we didn't think of you at all. We were too busy helping the family of an injured child and working toward helping two families impacted by illness and cancer. When we weren't doing that, we were enjoying one another's fellowship. So how did this turn out like that? Where Brian Keene is now distancing himself from this accuser. It seems like a plot twist. If you remember, and Philip Fracassi is here, Philip was to edit, yes, we are going to talk about that. That's part of the rant. Hello, R.A. Sounds like junior high. What happened to adults? They're gone. They're gone, Tim. And then this is another one. Brian Keene wrote, quarterly reminder that while we strive to make our charity events safe for all, Scares That Care cannot vet every attendee or vendor. If you have a concern about someone, you can confidently contact myself or Joe, or if you find us intimidating, Angel Holman or Sonora Taylor. Again, this list of apologizing and the trigger warnings started in academia when people were taking on like real serious content that was traumatic to some people. And it's migrated out to every little thing that bothers people. And now people are going to hold people accountable for every person at an event. And we're seeing Brian Keene do this and Christopher Golden do this. They're so fed up with it, but they feed the beast. These two in particular are the first on the bandwagon to cancel somebody, to believe victims, and to run a vanguard against any perceived oppressor or victimizer. This is blowback. This is the problem with this rampant court of public opinion mob. It will get you eventually. And it's bullshit. We should not feed the thing that, like, that we need to bring it down and stop with the bullshit for reals. Since Philip canceled his involvement in how the final volume, yes. Tim, same. I find the whole thing exhausting and embarrassing for genre. Makes me pine for the days before social media where professionalism trumped this indie chaos. Yes. And there was one final thing. When I was hired as an acquiring and developmental editor for Spectrum, an autistic horror anthology, I brought well-documented behavior evidence to the team about Zach Rosenberg's racism and abuse on 2 separate occasions. So this is where I got at, or this is where the thread where I learned that he wrote something that was pro-Israel. Yeah, in here somewhere. These screen grabs didn't say anything. But apparently there are a lot of receipts on this, and it sounds like he's crazy. I'm not defending him. Maybe him and Patrick McDonough need to be thrown into the Grand Canyon and cemented over. I don't know. But when you go crazy with these accusations and you don't have to back it up with anything real, eventually somebody's going to say something about you they don't like, and that's going to take root, and you're going to burn. And I really, yes. But since we're gung-ho about talking about, where is it? Uh-oh. Did I not? Oh, no. Okay, it's got to be here. Okay, too amazing. No. Okay, well, oh yeah, the 15th little book. Yeah, so I did get the email. A Little Gold Book of Grotesqueries. Edgar Allan Poe, edited. It used to be edited by, Philip Fracassi. And this was the only little book I was considering getting. And especially because it was Poe, and my new dog's name is Poe. And Philip Fracassi was edited it. He gathered the stories. So basically, when you edit this anthology or collection, he's not giving Edgar Allan Poe notes on rewrites. There's really very little proofreading, I'd imagine, other than looking for did the text transfer to the book in a way that eliminated typos and missed pages. Of course, you got to do a quality assurance check, which is very light duty work at Borderlands because they don't do it. But it's now edited by Thomas Monteleone. So Philip Fracassi did not get paid to do the work of collecting the stories. He also didn't sign it, and he didn't write the introduction for it. But now Thomas Monteleone, who owns Borderlands, is swooping in to write the intro and get this thing published and out the door. And we don't know if he picked new stories or if he just took Philip Fracassi's TOC and went with it. That's bullshit. That is theft. He could have paid like an advance to Philip for the work to date and said, do you want to be associated with it? I agree that Philip Fracassi shouldn't have been associated with it anymore. Thomas Monteleone has verifiably ruined his own career. I agreed with that right away. When you have audio of a guy saying something terrible about somebody personally and hatefully, there you go. Roll him out on a dolly and put him out to pasture. So, yeah, now he's sort of taking credit for Philip Fracassi's work. I'm aerating ice cream. That is good. Yes, Tom Monteleone's meltdown. If I had the newsletter going back in the day, I would have included it. But I forgot what the podcast was. But it was a podcast, and they didn't take it down. It was like two yokels, and he was talking about how the Stokers were going against white men, and how he could have made a case for how he felt being ostracized, or his evidence to that. You got to make a case about the issue. But he attacked a woman who spoke at it as a keynote speaker or the MC, and it was awful. Like, there's no need to be vile, racist, and all that stuff. And he just doubled down, tripled down on it, kept rolling, and then it becomes, yeah, you are what people accused you of being. And so, no, do you have proof? I did. I could look it up. Wait a minute. Can you prove Monteleone stole? No, that's what I was saying. Or did he edit the volume from scratch? That's what I'm saying, Hans. We don't know yet. We don't know if he selected brand new stories or if he just took Philip's TOC. We don't know that. We don't know until we see the table of contents. And the only one who could know that would be Philip Fracassi, because he knows what he picked and why he picked it. The stories, the poems, all the stuff. So I'm not, you don't have a slander case, because I am saying that he might have done all new work. And the only one who has a case against him would be Philip Fracassi, and it wouldn't even be worth his time to pursue it. Who knows? The cover could still have Philip's name on it. Yeah. Yes, that's funny. That is funny. Won't know until it comes out. Yeah. I'd like to have someone turn the lights on at their glass houses. None of us are 100% innocent. Nope. You're right. None of us. If you don't know for a fact Tom took Philip's work and just slapped his name on it instead of starting over and editing it all himself, you can't say that. I wasn't saying that. So, anyway, again, wasn't saying that. I'm not putting a spin on facts. I'm saying the Tom thing is on a channel called Hatchet Mouth. Okay. Now that's a different thing. That whole rant, you could hear it yourself, and I'm recounting what I heard. As far as the Poe anthology, that will be to be seen. So the facts are Philip Fracassi was editing a Poe collection. And the fact is, Borderlands is putting out a Poe collection. And instead of Philip getting paid, Thomas Monteleone is keeping it in-house. And if all he does is write a little intro to it, that is not cool. So, anyway, Hatchet Mouth. I didn't remember that. So we'll go back to this. But we were supposed to simmer down a little bit. But it was annoying. I don't know if anybody's still getting that. If you've been collecting all the, and what was it, the 15th book? So is this series, and then the display cases, 15th and final volume? Yeah, he's only ever done, right, 3 slipcases of 5 volumes. And then he says there is going to be a series 5. There will be a series 5. Did you see that? I'm sorry if I cut away too soon. There will. And then he put will in quotes. Or asterisks. Asterisks. Let's go back to the simplicity of the early 90s. That's impossible. My feeling is Philip editing the book was an advantage. His name and signature would sell more copies. I would have bought one. You're right. Losing Philip hurt him, but I am glad he's still putting out his final volume. I'm not rooting for him, so I don't really care. I would have bought it if it was Philip's signature to get that on my shelf, for sure. I would have. And I'm glad for any fans who were collecting that series and wanted the final volume. I know had I gone 14 books deep into that series and not gotten number 15, yeah, I'd have been miffed. I'd have been real mad. So I'm glad for the fans. And that's it. I'm glad for you, Hans, if you wanted that. So SST email this week. Yes. I'm finishing series 4 and probably won't do series 5. Yeah, I did 2 and 3. And when he was dangling Stephen King in front of us all through series 3 and that he never materialized, I'm like, just kiss my ass. I'm done with you. And then he did the racist rant. And then I was done with him forever. I actually did write an introduction for the book, but I pulled it, obviously. Tom wrote a new intro. He asked me if he could use pieces of my intro, and I said no. I'll likely repurpose it. Wow, he asked if he could use pieces of your intro. I would have said, give me pieces of my paycheck. See, Hans, this is not a guy I would defend. Of course, he respected Philip's wishes, and we'll have to see if he did, because you'll have to look at the intro, and you'll have to look at the table of contents. You just, I mean, he should have given him some money regardless for his efforts to date. Like, hey, Philip, I know this has been long delayed, blah, blah, blah. As far as, like, everything was sort of in limbo for a while. Are you still cool with me using it? No. All right, you did X, amount of work. Here's X amount of dollars. Or start over. Or, I don't know, because that's up to the contract and it's up to the lawyers. And if you want to pursue damages. Me too, but sad it won't be the Fracassi volume. Yeah, it is sad. But who will be in Series 5? I don't know, and I doubt King will. I mean, he did McCammon, Mallerman. I would have hoped for a Fracassi volume. God, that would have been awesome. Did he ever do an Anya Allborn? I don't think he did an Anya Allborn. No. Keelan Patrick Burke. Did he do one? I don't even remember. I have 2 series, and I don't even remember. He did Lansdale, McCammon, Mallerman. Oh. And I got those. He did Chismar. I think this will be the last of the series. Series 4. So did you see Stephen King asking for facts concerning Sean? It was Patrick McDonough. Yeah, I did. I talked about that last week. Or maybe just in my newsletter. I had it in my newsletter. Yeah, go back. You could see whenever that was, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he was asking, and I read that thread. Gabino said, yes, I did the work. Case is closed. Trust me. Unless you're talking about something new. I just searched Hatchet Mouth with Tom Monteleone, and there are several long episodes. Anyone know the time frame? Damn it. I don't remember. I'm sorry, RA. I wish I knew. And it was a long, oh my God. It was a long episode, and I waded through it, and it sounded like a conversation between a bunch of bros hanging out, drinking and smoking cigars, and like just shooting the shit in a very crude, vulgar way. Not professional in the least. Not something you'd want recorded and aired out, because trust me, again, like RA, like what you said, no, we should turn the lights on in the glass houses. My God, we've all said things in the company of friends who we have a certain comfort level with, and it's crude and it's vulgar, but it doesn't mean everybody's rotten at the core and hateful, right? It just means you're an idiot, and you said some stupid things that you probably would regret in more sober moments. And, there's a lot of things on this channel where I'm just going here on the live stream that I've probably said that I'd like to take back maybe. But nothing that gets to the level of that garbage. And yeah, it's just you have a career, you have a whole legacy to look back on. You have to be careful about the stupid shit you say. You could think something, but you have to handle it in a professional way. And I seriously, in that moment when I heard him say those things, I just felt bad for the person. This is an awful thing that you have to hear about yourself. That's ugly. And you know, like, honestly, I rant about Richard Chismar, and I don't say anything, and I don't personally attack him as far as his appearance or how he, maybe his mannerisms or anything like that, because honestly, I don't know. I'm really going after his behavior in one regard, you know, and it's that I don't like about him, and I think it needs to change. But to personally attack somebody for what they are or how they appear, you just can't do that. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't want to do that. So, yes. I mentioned that because that perhaps King and Monteleone are still on good terms, and the King volume, Series 5, Volume 15, is still happening. You could hold out hope. You'll get 5. I won't even play that game with him. I won't let that. I mean, if you're sure it's happening, Hans, see, now look what you did. Are you sure? Do you have proof? Hans, do you have proof? There is no Keelan Patrick Burke little book and no Anya Allborn. Now, if he did a Series 5 with Tyler Jones, Keelan Patrick Burke, Anya Allborn, Philip Fracassi, Thomas Oldehuvelt, Chad Lutsky. Oh my God, that's 6. I'm going like a Jason Pargin. Oh, a Hans Curtis. Those I would be here for. I would get that. That would be amazing. I know there's other authors that I'm just. I know isn't there a Bentley little book? I do not think he has the authors. I do not think he has the authors to do another series due to what I heard. There was also one of Gahan Wilson. I have that, yeah. What was the excuse PF was given for being pulled, or was it mutual decision? I'd have to let Philip Fracassi answer that. I've never said an inappropriate thing in my life. Well, you're only 4 years old, Mitch. And you probably said some potty mouth things when you were tired and your parents wouldn't let you watch Teletubbies. I have a complete run of little books from Borderlands. That's fun. That's your thing. Me either. Keep it up, Mitch. One crossword and you get a mouthful of soap. There you go. I have a golden rule. 2 people can discuss anyone or anything. 3 people or more, and it's gossip. That's kind of true. Dial soap, the yellow bar. Oh, Lifebuoy. This is why I don't have Face Novel, Twatter, etc. Too much BS. Well, you're here, and you're getting your BS from me. And that should be my tagline. All the BS you can handle. Yeah, no, good for you, Mr. Weapons. Don't do that, Mr. Weapon 10. Sorry, I misspoke. I haven't said anything inappropriate in your lifetime either, Mitch. Does that count? There's an old saying, there's at least 3 sides to every story. Yours, mine, and the cold, hard truth. Yes. In a few more years, a good Fracassi movie will be released, and Philip's career will skyrocket like a young Stephen King, and he will be so famous. Amen to that. Hans, I don't think it needs to be a few more years. I think it's going to be 2026. 2 years. So not few, 2 years. And rightfully so. I tell you, I've seen so many good words about Philip Fracassi's writing. You know, some of it comes from sycophants, right? And hype men like me and Mitch and Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. and Joshua Poblano. Yes, we have an agenda. Philip pays us sweet kickbacks. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. That was slander. That's libel. But the praise Philip gets for his writing, I'm heartened to see, extends beyond little hype circles like us here. It extends beyond that because it's legitimate. It's based on real talent. And it's not just for one book. It's not like an author I won't name who's written like a few really good books and then a few meh books and like a couple that were stinkers or maybe one that was a stinker. And so with Philip, the work is praised beyond our little circle and beyond just one book. That's real talent. That really is. And the funny thing is, I just did an interview with an author. I won't name names. And we talked about screenwriting. And this author talked about how screenwriting helped him write in a more kinetic fashion to keep the story moving, to not fall in love with the prose, to not fall in love with the descriptions and your own writing, but to keep the story engaging and moving and active. And I think that's served Philip well, because when I read Commodore, I read Boys in the Valley first, and it didn't really feel that way, even though Boys in the Valley started as a screenplay. It felt like a novel, a total novel. But when I read Commodore, and it was a total short story novella, you could feel that, I don't know, something about Commodore felt more visual. And I'm like, oh, wow, he really is nailing me into the moment, nailing the reader in the moment. That sounds horrible. I'm going to reword that. He really puts the reader in the moment. And that is by creating like that immediacy that is probably part of screenwriting. You're writing about what is happening, what is transpiring, and how it appears and how it might feel in a very succinct way. And I think that I really felt that in Commodore, but not in a bad way. I'm not saying it was like a peek behind the curtain or seeing how the sausage is made. But it did feel very immediate. I don't know what it was. And so I think that could be an interesting take on the screenwriting aspect. I like this. Mitch's birth sets the bar. I have also been well behaved in his time frame. See? He's like, he died for our sins, or he was born for our sins. Mitch, are you comfortable saying that? Are you comfortable saying I was born for your sins and you wiped the slate clean with your birth, Mitch? That doesn't sound like another individual, does it? I don't know. It's ringing distant bells. Yes. Tom still wanted me involved, but he couldn't pay the agreed amount, and there was too much baggage with his name, so I decided to step aside. Plus, his emails to me were a little unhinged, to be honest. Damn, there you're getting it, Hans. You're getting it right from Philip, not from me. And that, what he's saying right there, goes a little bit beyond professionalism. So, with the real dirt, that's reasonable, Philip. Knowing your worth is crucial. Yes, just a little dirt. Yes, let's not go too far. Wait, why is the new guy getting kickbacks? Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yep, Fracasse's a great writer. I can't believe I stumbled on that, and this is only a 4.2. Yeah, sounds like some good reasons to walk away from the project. Yep. That Lutsky fella can write too. That Lutsky fella kicks ass too. Like seriously, I yes. Amazing. I'm so in awe of what you guys do. Really. Pause the rant. Look, he has to go pee real quick. Oh, Loki has to go. Okay, then I'll say some positive things. Lutsky, Keelan Patrick Burke, Philip Fracasse, Tyler Jones. I am in awe of what you guys do. You guys do such amazing things and don't get nearly enough love. So, and that's like a hype man would say. but it bears out totally. Mitch is Bizarro Jesus. AM after Mitch. We got a whole thing going, Mitch. You can douse it right now, Mitch, but it looks like you're going to be a figurehead of in some capacity. I'm yet to read Philip Fracassi. Very sorry. Oh man, it's totally okay, David. But try to, because it's really for you and your benefit. Yeah, I gotta learn. I was looking at one of my lives. Is this ASMR? I was watching one of my lives, and the sound sounded better when the mic was closer. So I don't know why I don't learn, you know. Yes, Cat House has some great reading ahead, for sure. I envy you. I wish I could read it for the first time. I think I like moving on from AD to AM from the day I was born. After Mitch from the day I was born. Okay, we like that. As opposed to BM, like bowel movement. Creepy Couch is my favorite popcorn show. Applause for that. Creepy Couch Chad showed up as himself. But yes, Creepy Couch, plug for that all the time. Great stuff. Bruises on a Butterfly, amazing Lutsky. I got to read it. That and Bedmakers. And I'm itching to read Grim Portraits. I'm itching to read the new collection, No One Is Safe, from Fracassi. I'm thinking after the store, which I wrote an update on Patreon. I'm on chapter 5. I just finished chapter 5. So really not that far. After the store, it's going to be No One Is Safe is the book club book. So if anybody wants in on that. I'm actually editing Thursday's episode while Jeff rants. Then I'll try not to distract you. Mitch of Oklahoma. Oh, that's funny. So AuthorCon was last weekend, and I keep seeing pics and getting reports. That's good. JT rants are inspiring. Uplifting, even. Finally getting around to A Child Alone with Strangers. From everything I've heard about it and the other books of his I've read, I'm expecting great things. You won't be disappointed. Child Alone with Strangers, man. Love it. Oh, my Child Alone with Strangers, it's in the mail right now. On its way to Francois Vaillancourt. Oh, hold on. Someone's got to get Willow. Hold, please. Hold, please. Someone's got to get Willow. She's being difficult. Muy difícil. Yes, we're a bilingual household. It's on its way to Francois. I'm going to get a remark in A Child Alone with Strangers Levidian. After the interview, he messaged me and he's like, I got an idea for that. Send me your book. And so I sent it. Oh my God. It hasn't even gotten to him yet. I shipped it from Tennessee near Chattanooga and it went to Miami to go to Canada. Huh? Why would it go to Miami? To go to Montreal? I don't know. We have international airports in Tennessee. What the hell? So, anyway, I'm so pumped about that. I'm only telling you guys. Nobody watches this, so I'm only telling you. Excuse me. Hey, can anyone guess what the Oklahoma State vegetable is? Hint, it's not a vegetable. Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr., I looked that up. I looked it up as soon as he said. I'm like, this can't be right. The Oklahoma State vegetable is watermelon. It's watermelon. Oh my God. Oh my God, that is so funny. Great deal on a copy of Midas on Pango Books right now. It's $60, but 10% off and free shipping. I saw you post that. Go get it. Get Midas. Tyler Jones, man. catch up. Grim Portraits is moving up my TBR. Heard great things. Yeah, I got it. I got that. I have to read. Oh, I don't know anything about it though, but I got to read it. And I also have to finish the We Live Inside Your Eyes. Itching to read that upcoming Mallerman, Incidents Around the House. Yeah, I got to read it too. I wasn't aggressive. I didn't grab the bull by the balls. Is that what they said? They by the balls. Oh no, that's just Chismar and King. Like Hans had some cojones and he said, Josh, send me a copy. And Josh sent him an advanced review copy. So Francois Vaillancourt. There's a whole interview on it. You could look at. Oh, and by the way, I have to apologize for my interviews. I was just editing my next interview, which I will release. Patreon's going to get a director's cut with more content. And then YouTube will get a good interview. it'll get it'll be a good thing. But I like the idea of doing a director's cut because here's the thing. I'm going through and I'm editing my interview and oh my God, so much of me comes out of those interviews because I don't shut up. Really. I'm trying to be more disciplined, more prepared in my interviews. I do prepare, but then I just riff on everything the guest says. And I'm like, why? I am editing this going, why am I talking? Like, dude. So we're all learning, and editing is a good way to rub my nose in it and make it a better interview by the time you guys watch it. So it was a fun interview. I had a blast doing it. And that's probably the reason why I had to take so much of me out of it. So anyway, if that Francois interview, I could have done that better. I'd love to redo everything. I'd love to redo what I just said on this channel. So it's never ending. But anyway, watermelon is delicious at least. Kentucky State flower is the weed goldenrod. It's funny. Francois Vaillancourt is going to draw Chismar in your copy. Francois and I are going to be at KingCon. I know we talked a little bit about that, Philip. Makes me really want to go. And actually, I'm going to have Chris on the channel to talk about KingCon. Did you see the news? He got Mick Garris. There are other people coming. Don't count that out, man. There's some, and just Philip and Francois right there alone. Those two are absolutely worth the price of admission. That said, there are other people on deck they're working on getting. I can't say names, but if these people get in there, and if some of the agenda goes through, it'd be great. In all seriousness, I'm hoping for King fans that what Chris has planned happens. Because it will be great for the fans to be there and to see these people. And yeah, it'll be awesome. So if you're on the fence, if you think Vegas is something you can do in October, and again, the guaranteed thing is Philip and Francois will be there. You already can't lose, but depending on how things fall through, because I gotta say, Chris told me a bunch of names of a bunch of people. Mick Garris was one of them, and he didn't come through when Chris told me. Then he came through. So it wasn't just bullshit, It wasn't like spitballing or blue skying it or dreaming for these people. He told me some names and he said some people in confidence. So of course I'm not going to say anything, but so don't PM me or DM me. But this would be great, and I really think it'll be a great time. So anyway, I'm probably missing some things. The last time I was in Oklahoma, a guy offered me a frozen rattlesnake. Well, was it frozen? Was it stuffed? Was it a snack? I'm reading Bentley Little's The Summoning right now. I haven't read any of his books and wanted to read one before starting the store. Well, I wrote my synopsis. If you're at the limited edition or FOMO level, you can see the post because I only kept it to the book club people. What I think about the first 5 chapters. It's interesting. We got a lot to go. I'm not going to not finish the book. Already, it has more to it than The Mailman. So that's good. But there is something in the beginning, in the prologue, that I'm like, oh, this is the problem I had with The Mailman. And The Circle. Those 2 things I read by Bentley Little that were just pointless. Just toothless. Like, you need your hero to be changed by the end of the book. Your protagonist. To be different than when they started out. There has to be something that changes about them. And there isn't in The Mailman or The Circle. It's just stupid. Let's see. I'm going to try to see him perform Incidents live. Oh, that's cool. Yes. Josh Malerman often goes to, and they do performances. They did for Daphne and Goblin. I do know that. I don't remember if they did others, but they'll do like some reenactment or some reading. And if you're in Michigan, definitely check that out. About me asking Josh for an arc. I tried the other way and was hoping for an invite to get one from Josh, and nothing came with both Daphne and Spin a Black Yard, so I chose to be more direct, which is always the right choice. And be more direct, worked with Josh. See, you could be direct without being an asshole. So everybody associates being direct with being an asshole, and that's just not the case. We're told Midwestern nice, be polite, don't ask for things. You know, you're told that by your parents growing up. You know, you're demanding, you're nagging. No, you could be polite and say, hey, and it worked. And I remember Paul Fry once told me, he goes, I don't respond to people that just sort of dance around things. He's like, you got to ask. If there's something you want in this world, you got to ask for it. Francois and I are hoping to be next to each other so I can sell signed books, but Francois did the art for that he can do doodles. Yeah, that'd be cool. I think you should swing that because, yeah, the chapbooks, Child Alone with Strangers. Oh. Now, Philip, are you gonna charge for signatures, or like how is that gonna work? I think Paul Suntup will be at King Con too. I think so. Yeah, Hans. Yes. Jinx. It could snowball with each big name, more big names attach themselves. Yes. So that's the thing. And I told Chris on the phone, I go, it's like a chicken and egg. Like, you want to get big names to commit, but they want to know other big names have committed. So you got to get that first one to knock things loose. And I honestly think Chris will pull it off. I expect a full list of names sent to in the admin chat. I cannot do that. I cannot. So Nice McGarris will be there. We could get other Hollywood names. Yes. It's a good way to think. There's plenty more where they came from. Rattlesnakes. What if since Garris is coming, we get Tom Hanks, Tim Robbins, Sissy Spacek, Morgan Freeman, Clancy Brown, Ed Harris, or Kathy Bates? Oh my God. That would be amazing. So I will say, Hans, I didn't hear any of those names. I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. It'll be cool. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. I've just recollected a big thing he wanted to do. Man, I'm rooting for him to get this. I still have to get the store. It's not available at my library, so I have to pay for it. Deciding if I pay for a used one on eBay and have the paper, or just give BL and Bezos the money to download. Yeah, I would go as cheap as possible. Whatever's cheapest, I would do that, because I don't want you to hate a book that. Again, like I said, it's better than The Mailman so far. It would be amazing if Tom Savini came to King Con. Yeah, that would. If you want it, you have to ask. Worst thing that happens is they say no. Yep. I think I'm just going to sell signed books. I won't charge folks just to sign stuff they bring. Yeah, I mean, Philip, at the conventions, the Days of the Dead convention, there were people, almost everybody charged for everything. They charged for signatures, no matter what, whether you bought some. I mean, if you bought something from them, I think they signed it for free. But I think it might have already been pre-signed. So, like, you just go to the table and you buy something, and you could probably get it inscribed to you. And then a lot of them charge for selfies, if you want to take a selfie with the celebrity. Doug Bradley was the only one who didn't charge for a selfie. I would have paid for it because I wanted it, but he didn't. Great guy. So, I don't know, Philip. I don't know what I'm just telling you. I would charge a nominal fee, $10. Because these people were charging $50 per signature. So I would say if you buy a book off my table, the signature's free, and so is a selfie. But if you want something signed, I'll just charge $10. Or not. Or you could be a better person than me. Because I can hear the people groaning, Jeff, you're an asshole. I was going to King Con. Now you're making me spend. I just think that your time is worth money. I don't agree with charging for the selfie. That to me seems really slimy. I don't like that at all. But Mick Foley, my brother-in-law, went and saw him. And he was a great guy, super generous with his time, would sit and bullshit with us. But he did charge for the selfie. And a lot of these people, they have handlers who take all the money. And so the celebrity's kind of removed from that transaction. So they're sort of like, you got to pay them. And then the handler is on you if you didn't pay for a selfie and you're asking for one. So there's some of that. But I would, Philip, if I were you, I would do that. That's just, it's up to you, of course. $10 isn't a lot. And you know what? It could be $10 and like I'll sign 5 things, you know? So it's not like $10 per signature, which is what they do at these other celebrity conventions. They charge, it's literally $50 per signature. You want 3 things signed, there's $150. Some of them were more. So I'm just saying $10. What are we missing? Is Stephen King going to be there signing? Oh my God. As of right now, no. That's not what I think is on deck, but I don't know. I don't know because I talked to Chris a while ago. If he's getting these big names, maybe it's just a little tipping point to get King. You don't know. You don't know. I think honestly, I would think it's kind of shitty for King if King had nothing to do with King Con. I would think it's kind of shitty. So, I don't know if he's not going to be involved in any way, or if he's going to do something but not appear, or any number of sort of in-betweens. But I'm like, come on, these are the people who adore your stuff. They collect your stuff hardcore. You know, they're all, this whole thing is King affiliated. Come on, you could do something for the fans. You know, I understand you don't want people to profit off your name and, you know, make it all about, you know, somebody capitalizing on your hard work. Of course, I don't agree with that. But this is legitimate, you know. That's the big question, and he needs to be lured to the event by all the above, yes. But what if there was a special edition of You Like It Darker just for King content? That would be awesome. And it was signed by King. Oh my God. See, now that's the sort of stuff like if he said, hey, how many tickets did you sell? Everybody gets a signed paperback or something, a signed King trinket, book, item. Salem's Lot dust jacket, which I got to say, Hans, thank you for correcting me. I posted in my newsletter. I have to do a correction. I wrote about a signed Stephen King Salem's Lot when it was it's really, we're talking about the dust jacket. I thought we weren't. I thought we were talking about a book, the text of the book, that there were only 8 of these in existence because they caught it or something. But no, it's 8 dust jackets, have the Father Cody typo, whatever it is. I don't want to even mess up the little I do know, but I was fact checked on my Facebook page by Hans, and I appreciate it. Seriously, if I get things wrong, I want to learn the correct thing, and I don't want to misinform. 7-second delay. So, yes, I appreciate that, Hans. King will be unveiling. He's a Republican. I don't think that's going to happen. Charging for signing may work for the film celebrity scene, but I'd be really put out if the author ever tried that. It's just not done on the book scene. 2 different industries and expectations. On one hand, you're right. So, for example, if we're going to a book event, for example, I go to Robert McCammon at Alabama Booksmith, and me and Tim bring a U-Haul's worth of books, and Robert McCammon just signs away. And they're all books we bought elsewhere. But the bookstore is selling the new release. So you buy that book from the bookstore. You have to. I think it's bad manners to do that. And at the Robert McCammon event, they sold the book. If you bought the signed book from Alabama Booksmith, you were able to go to the event where he read and talked for an hour. But then you could go to the book signing without a ticket to the event for free and bring a trunk load of books. I just think that's bad manners. You want to support the bookstore. So that's a bookstore event. This is a convention. So that's how I'm thinking about it differently than a bookstore signing. A bookstore signing, yeah, I would not expect to pay. When Philip was at Parnassus in Nashville or any of the other locations, yeah, I wouldn't expect Philip to charge for the signing there. But at a convention, I think when you add a convention and you're at a table, the idea is you paid for that table. Whether or not it's comped, the convention goers don't know. But people go there to make money, and if they're signing an endless stream of free signatures and not getting anything, then they're losing money by paying for that. They're gaining awareness, but and I'm sure they're going to sell some books. Anyway, that's just my thought, and of course it's up to whoever wants to do whatever. Have a tip jar then, because I would be somebody who would put money in a tip jar if you don't want to charge outright. Because trust me, if I went up there with all that stuff to a convention again, then I would feel bad dominating so much of the time and not giving anything. Those are my 2 cents. But I hear you, Ron. You make a good point. I agree with Jeff. Small fee for this signature plus selfie if no book bought on site. Do the first one free if they bring lots more than one, then charge. In a world of conventions, charging for a signature is commonplace. In the world of book signings, it does not happen. But it is polite to buy a book. Exactly, Hans. We are eyeball to eyeball. Ojo a ojo. Right? Yes. I think an author charging for a signature is wrong, in my opinion. Yes. So, at a book signing, yeah, these are all good points. King should at least do a remote appearance. That would be cool. I don't see myself charging for anything other than books. I love my readers and happy to do sign. There you go. There's the answer right from Philip. And I got to say, if I walked up to Philip's table, I would buy a book, even if I had it. I would do it because I would just feel guilty. It's just on me. Just shove a bunch of stuff and get a signature. But, okay, there we have it. Discussion's ended. But I am old school. My days as a kid going to comic book conventions where the artists and writers and celebrities sign for free, this charging for one thing is new to me. I know. I was at, when I went to Comic-Con in Chicagoland, I had a poster signed by J.O. Barr. I had a comic book signed by him. And yeah, there was no charge. They were great. They gave their time. So yeah. I'm just sour on all the bullshit I hear from authors and how they get short shrifted by literally everybody. Publishers, and publishers. It's just hard because they have to hustle. They have to make their own. They have to be their own marketing team. And I heard this from more than a few. So it's not like if you're like, oh, he's heard that from this guy or that gal or whatever. No, I heard it from a bunch of people. And it sucks. Look at my interview with, my God, Winter Said Hollow, Jonathan Edward Durham. He did it himself. And then the publisher, or Robert McCammon, he pulled his book from Viking because they were a bunch of idiots. Yeah, it's just kind of disgusting what publishers take and what they give. So I want authors to be supported as much as they can so they could write these great things they write, and we all enjoy it. I mean, there's no better drug than a book. Eek, no tip jar. Yeah. Nowadays, even the comic book artists charge for a signature. I know, it's hard. Signatures are sought because they have presumed value. And that's the thing. Like, here are some, with a true fan, you cannot screen for who is the true fan and who is the eBay arbitrage person. Who is somebody who's just bought a bunch of trade paperbacks, got a signature, and now they're selling them on eBay. eBay changed the game in collectibles. Now you have all this flipper bullshit. So if you had some sort of true fan detector that somebody could walk through on their way to your table, and you're like, this kid, this 16-year-old kid has bought your books and love your music, love your art, whatever it is, and they don't have any money. And they just have this, they did everything they could to get to this convention just to look at you and tell you what you meant to them. If they could walk through there and they could light up like this person's the real deal, yeah, I'd want that person to get 1 million things signed and 500 selfies, you know. But you don't know who that person is versus the person who brings in a truckload of stuff and then turns around and sells it It's happened. I've seen it happen to... There are a couple of guys on eBay right now, some dickheads, that begged for ARCs, that begged for limited editions, that got whatever, and then they're selling them. They didn't care. They didn't want it for them. Like everything I have on my shelves inscribed to me is sacred. Like I'm not looking to get rid of any of that stuff. And I want real fans, unless like, yeah, there are some things like that I want real fans to have that I'm just not crazy about. But you know what I mean? If that was the case, I'd love to see real fans get it for free. Did I hear tip jar? Who's busking? Quick drop in. I hope all's well for you all out there in Tennessee. Yes, it is, Jeff. Love to have you out here. That'd be great, man. That would be great. That'd be great to see you out here. Maybe we'll come back someday. Yeah, you heard a doggo. You heard Poe attacking Willow, and it's going to be a long night, probably. Oh, sure. You should always buy the featured book at a signing event, and if convention, a book or two. Showing up with a wheelbarrow of books and not buying is poor form. Yes, for sure. It's a signing fee that rubs me wrong. I know. But again, getting back to that eBay arbitrage thing. Okay, when are we going to address that publisher snapping back at writers complaining about not getting marketed? Yeah, I don't know if that is something I can bring it up. Did someone say Joel? Yeah, kind of I did. Gonna charge for snippets of hair tucked away in the pages. Well, so Chad, you could do that because that's a voodoo thing, you know. Then they're gonna make a voodoo doll out of you, so you're putting yourself at risk. Might as well get money. Even if you bring your own books to be signed, you are still buying that author's work. In the long run, the author still benefits. Yes. No, that's true. I'm hosting a movie tonight, and it starts at 10, so I'm almost gone. Okay. All right, yes. We got 15 minutes. I'm going to get the side-eye in 10 minutes anyway. Yes, Jeff, freebie for true fans, but they're going to bring one book. They're going to bring one book at most. Yeah. I only go to conventions to heckle. I could see that, Stephen Dwayne Elson Jr. That'd be a good use of your time. Inscribe everything. No flat signing. Harder to sell. Yes, but I'm weird. Like, I just like their signature. I don't like me in there, you know? Unless it's a note. Like, Philip Fracassi inscribed to me, and he wrote, you know, a little doodle, like, and Tyler Jones did it. And shit, Thomas Oldehuvelt wrote me a letter in there. I love that. But like when you're going and you, like, I don't really know Robert McCammon, and he's like, would you like me to sign this to you? And it's like, best wishes, Jeff. It's nice. And, you know, it's just sort of surface level. And there ain't a Robert McCammon signature I'm going to part with. Not a one, you know. So they're all here, flat signed or inscribed. I don't know. And then I did have Joe Lansdale inscribed. I don't know. I can go either way. But you know what? I interviewed Joe Lansdale. I interviewed Philip Fracassi. I interviewed Thomas Oldehuvelt. Interviewed Chad Lutzke. Those are the inscriptions that mean something to me because I've talked to those people personally. So in a more than just a signing line, you know. So those inscriptions have some heft. Tonight's film choice is Akira. Oh, Akira Kurosawa's Ran. Oh, nice. Great film. Well, it got Stephen Dwayne Elson Jr.'s thumbs up, and he's very discriminatory. I don't know if that's the word. He's got high standards. 95 copies of Schindler's Ark are still available. The artist edition. Oh, are we going to talk about that? Okay. We can real quick. And Ron, I got to talk about you real quick too. Schindler's Ark. Oh my God, this thing is amazing. This is gorgeous. I love this book. And I'm terrified because I've had some alcohol, you know how that is? But oh my God. The art in here is stunning. See that? I can't even extend. Just stunning. Beautiful. Beautiful book. I cannot wait to read it. And when I posted my unboxing for Schindler's Ark, there were 97 copies. Now there are 95. So two were sold. I would get it. I would get it for sure. Give a heads up where he'll be next. Sounds like a riot. Yeah, me too. He'll be at Fracassi Fest. Most likely not heckling at that one. There are a few people. There's one person going who's a guest, Mitch. Not anybody going who's like a vendor or an author or an artist or anything. But there's a guest going who I'm not looking forward to meeting. And he'll be there. But I promise to be good, Mitch. I promise to be good. Or a Chad clone. Hi, Jeff. Glad to see you. And Poe is attacking Willow now? Yeah, Poe attacks everybody. Poe attacked Chase earlier. Chase is a big, like, boxer pit bull mix. And our little Poe was chasing him up until the point where he had a growl to say, little guy, you better cool your jets, little dude. We can heckle the mud wrestlers. Gotta get Mallerman on here, Jeff. He's a blast. I will. I promise you I will. Mitch promised to introduce me to everyone. Jeff. Oh no, is it me? No! It's not you. It's not you. It's not a vendor. It's just somebody who I heard was going. This guy said he's going. And this guy's kind of an asshole. As an attendee. So. But I'll be good. I'll be good. I promise. Mitch, you were born and you wiped away all our sins. So how can we be mad at you? It is definitely never you. It is never Mitch. So, man, I got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Oh, yeah, I wanted to show this. So, Ron, it's Philip, isn't it? Yeah. Bruh, I'm right here. No need to call me out. Chizzy, no, Chizzy won't be there. Just finished my used copy of Land Sales a Thicket, and in a section where the pro tag is talking about how his girlfriend smells, someone wrote, "Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow." I pictured some heavy breathing perv reading the book before me who just couldn't resist writing that in there. Chad, I don't know why you got my copy, but dude, that's just stupid. Why would you do that? What a sicko. It's used library copy from eBay. Damn. Didn't think you guys would figure out I was the asshole that fast. Not you, man. Not you. So Ron told me about Mysterious Bookshop was having a sale, and they had a sale on this $150 copy, limited edition. So 250 copies of this book. It's an anthology, The Dark End of the Street. And notably, this is by Mysterious Bookshop. So it's Otto, right? Otto Penzler? I don't remember his name. But it's an anthology and it's edited and it's signed, right? So I opened it up when I got it, and it's signed by these two editors, none of whom harassed anyone, hopefully, because I don't want to get canceled for associating. But I was turned on to it from Ron because it was on sale for $45. And notably, it has a Patrick McCabe short story and signature in here. And I didn't realize Patrick McCabe wrote any short stories. So I jumped on it, and I might have bought the last copy because it sold out. And at $45, it was a steal. So you could see it was signed here, and it said it was signed by all contributors. And then I turned the page, and there's no There's no other signature sheet. So I'm like, oh, what was I? Did I misread it? But no, every single author gets their own signature sheet. Look at that, and it's at every story. Every story, at the beginning of every story is a signature page. That is amazing. That is really, really cool. And so I am so happy. And there's the Patrick McCabe signature. I am so happy to get it. It's illustrated. It's limited to 250 copies. It's got this leather quarter binding, beautiful marbled boards, and signed by everybody in here. And it's crime fiction. It was shipped well. It came with this Mylar protection, which I'm totally going to keep using. You know, why not? And there you go. So happy to get it. And thank you so much, Ron, for making me aware of that. I couldn't be happier, really. That's such a cool thing. Producer Jill, you get a huzzah. Huzzah. Hashtag cancel Jeff. Yeah, I'm gone. Hey, Peter's here. You missed literally nothing. You missed nothing. I didn't. I was just sitting here waiting. We were talking about weather in Chicago. That's cool as hell. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's how Mysterious Press Bookshop do their signed anthologies. It's a really cool way to go. It's labor intensive and very cool. For $45. I mean, oh, it's like a gem. And so I'm really excited to read that story and the other ones. Thank you, Peter. That's pretty rad. How's the paper and binding? The binding's excellent. I love the binding. I believe it's a sewn binding. Yeah, I believe. Yes. The paper, the signature sheets are real nice. The paper's good. It's better than a regular trade edition, for sure. Yeah, no, the paper's nice. So I have no complaints. I think if I bought this for $150, I still wouldn't complain. I think it's a really elegant, nicely done edition. So, yeah, very happy. Separate signature pages and anthology is awesome. I know. I never heard of that. That is really crazy. Okay, ranters and rantettes, gotta bounce. Take it easy, Hans. Take it easy. Enjoy your movie, Hans. Remember, don't drink and drive, but you can drink and rant and read and collect books and drink. Yes. Cheers to that all day, every day. I will watch the Nothing Happen After the Live is done. Oh, there was like zero things going on. Otto Penzler, yeah, is the editor of the Suntup Biblio Mysteries book too. I know. That's how I knew about Mysterious Books. And as Ron pointed out to me in our emails about, Flash pointed out on Instagram, they did the first Cujo. Very cool stuff. And that paved the way for Otto to have actual, a great press. King started, Suntup, Centipede Press, Fantasia Press, Mysterious Books. He was a lifesaver for a lot of young startups. That's very cool. I don't think he started Fantasia, but Firestarter was the very first signed limited edition Stephen King book. If I recall, and if I'm wrong, Hans will correct me. That's what I need Hans around for. So, yeah, I was just thrilled about getting that book. One thing that I realized I didn't do, and that's on me, and I feel bad about it. I thought I did it, but Subpress had a dinged book sale. So, if you recall, they had a book sale, and I got a Lansdale that I was sitting out on because I was waiting for the sale on the Lansdale title. And they had a sale, and I got the senior girls bayonet drill team and other stories. So I got that from the sale. It was, I think, a 50% off sale. I don't remember what it was. Whatever it was. It was great. Well, then last week they had a dinged sale, and the other book that I wanted from them was this, The Events Concerning. And it was a dinged book sale, and this was $15. And that's a steal. So I had to. And I'll be damned if I find a ding on this. I looked it all up and down, and I didn't see anything. And I guarantee if I did see something, you couldn't complain because, dude, it was $15. So, and it's normally $45. So, The Events Concerning, and it is assigned, bona fide, numbered, not a PC. If I can get that to work, 1165 out of 1250, and there you go. So, boom. Thrilled to get that. But I apologize. I did not put it on the Jeff Word Facebook page where I normally do, like I did with this cemetery dance. And I only discovered I didn't do it because I thought I just blanked. I blanked on it. So that was that. I was thrilled to get it. We did the correction on Salem's Lot. Oh, also Subpress is actually going to do, they're doing a new CJ Tudor book. Remember earlier I talked about an author who did a good book and then meh books and then bad books? CJ Tudor was kind of like that. Only she started with meh and then got worse. And granted, I only read 2 books from her. So one was meh and one was awful, and then I stopped. So I don't know if the Burning Girls or the other people or this new one, which was like The Drift, is good. They might be excellent. She may be a fantastic author now, but I'm not here for it. But Subpress is doing another CJ Tudor, if that's your bag. But they also, with that whole fiasco with Gardens of the Moon, they're also maybe going to do a Dead House Gates, because a lot of people were really upset they weren't going to do that in that book in this series. So good news, if you are a fan of that, you may get that. You may enjoy that. VJ Books has some great prices on signed books. 2, not limited. I bought a pristine copy of Cold in July. Oh, get over to VJ, people. Cold in July? So was that the trade edition, or was that, yeah, it probably wasn't the Zeiss thing. Wow, $15. Yes. $15 for a signed Lansdale. Right, like what I had. Wow. Hey, Scully's your Scully. If you are into brain tingles, go check out Scully's House of Thrillers. There's very few bona fide channels that I will support from here. Sins reads books. It's terrific. Sean Lynch, Zach's books, Creepy Couch, and Scully. Those are the only ones. Zach's books, I support him. He just did another video. Mitch, I don't know if you saw it. He came back out of nowhere and did a video. And good for him. We're rooting for those crazy kids, Mitch. We're rooting for them. 17th printing. You always have a classy chat in here. I don't know. And I got to a lot of lives, and I go to a lot of live streams. Thank you, Scully. That is huge, huge compliment from you, because you are a mega talent, man. Gotta love when they publish more than the market will bear and have to liquidate. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The only Lansdale they have right now is Things Get Ugly, trade paperback for $8. I got mine from them. I paid more. Jeff, I give you permission to support me as well. Do you have a channel, Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr.? I don't know. I didn't know you did. I said Sean Lynch. It's terrific. I didn't know you had one. I gotta see the new Z-Man. Miss that guy. He's hanging in there. Him and Maverick and stage producer wife. Stage mom wife. What the hell? I have a channel. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. Mitch has a channel. Beneath the Pale Ale. Right? Right. Yes. Go over there. I forgot about that, Mitch. You don't really do much. I don't really see you pop up. Gotta go. Good night, all, and thanks for always hosting, Jeff. Okay, thank you, Ron, for being here. I'm glad to see you stop by. We talked about Poe from Borderlands. There are a couple other things, but there was an SST new email. If you are not on the newsletter thing, and if you didn't get the advanced pre-order notice, so I got the previous book from this author, so I got the advance notice. I don't know if he sent out a notice to his newsletter subscribers at large, but right now he went to the people who bought the last book from this author. So he's gearing up, and he'll be doing the next thing will be the rest of everybody. So the rest of his newsletter subscribers will get an advance notice. So I would suggest you subscribe to the SST newsletter to see what advanced pre-order comes down the pipe, which will be happening probably shortly. Very excited for this book. It is a book that was sort of overlooked. Well, it wasn't sort of. It was overlooked by a lot of people publishing this author's work. So this finally gets a limited treatment. Very cool. Not yet. Will be Saturday, I think. Okay. So go check it out. Lal, he's not talking about the mommy blog you feature you feature in by your mom. No. That's funny. So subscribe to the SST newsletter. I am down for that. Levidian revealed the cover of the new chapbook, which was done by Francois Vaillancourt. And it looks cool. And this is going to the Brian James Freeman supporters at the $10 or more level, or the $5 or more level. So you're getting this chapbook. So I would do that. Love Brian James Freeman, love Levidian, and love Francois. So I'm reading the store, and I talked about that. There's really nothing else. There is this one other thing that's kind of funny. If you're not following Encyclopocalypse, they do novelizations of crazy movies, and they're doing the Chopping Mall. Now, I don't know who Brian Barry is, Brian G. Barry, so I can't get excited for it. But where shopping costs you an arm and a leg. I remember this movie way back when, and it's gotta be a great, they did Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, authored by Jeff Strand. So I had mine signed by Jeff Strand. So this is what they do, and I think it's a lot of fun. They also did, they did two versions. So I got both of them because they're cool. They're very cool, and they're awesome, and they're cool. This one's not signed, and I got to get Jeff to sign it. So anyway, that's fun. I thought it's worth checking out. But there are a couple other things we can go through real quick. But hey, Johnny, it is me. What would you rate Neuromancer? Neuromancer is a great read. Great read. I would rate it a 5-star book. It's brilliant. It's ahead of its time. And it's super smart. A book I like even more than that. If you like Neuromancer, I would recommend Blind Sight by Peter Watts. That book is beyond brilliant. Actually, Neuromancer is brilliant, but it feels like pulp thriller compared to Blind Sight. Blind Sight is, dude, that I love that book. It is brilliant. So he's not talking about the mommy. Okay. Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr. is on fire. He is burning everyone. Scorching eyebrows. He's a Books of Horror author. I wonder how much... Oh, yeah. So, he's probably more exploitative or whatever. I wonder how much novelization rights for these movies cost. I don't know. But I like that idea. That is a cool niche. I like it. That is very cool. Because you got a lot of people who dig these horror movies, and if you get somebody to bring it in to a novel form, that's a lot of fun. I love that idea. So if I was a fan of, I would love to see a novelization of Evil Dead 2 or what did we recommend for you, Chad? We recommended something for you that I would love to see. Maybe that was Evil Dead too. Maybe that was it. Or Dead Alive would be very cool. That would be cool, Chad. Think about it. You're doing the creepy couch thing. You could do a novelization of one of the movies you see and then create this big event around it. Something to think about. Pitch it to Encyclopocalypse. I can't imagine they would be stupid enough to pass on you. Pitch them. I'll help pitch them. You want me to pitch them? You'll ruin it. You'll get a restraining order. That's all that will come out of that. Good night, Jeff, Jill, and family, as always. Okay, thank you for being here. I'm working with Encyclopocalypse now on a few things. Oh, bingo, man. See, the creepy couch tie-in, dude. That's awesome. I love hearing that, man. That is awesome. I'll for sure add it to my list. Yes, River's Edge. Dude, that's right. We recommended River's Edge. Now, I don't know if you're answering my question or if you're talking about what Encyclopocalypse wants you to do, but dude, oh, that would be bomb diggity. Can I say that? Is that cultural appropriation? I don't know. I don't know / care. I don't. River's Edge would be amazing by you. Dude, do a creepy couch, although that really doesn't fit creepy couch. Dennis Hopper, Keanu Reeves, Christian Plummer, right? Crispin Plummer. Oh, man. Dude, that would be just amazeballs. What do you say, Peter? I'm a fan of novelizations generally. Some are really well written, and they include scenes dropped in editing from the movie. They can be fun. Yes. The Holy Mountain. Please, not the Human Centipede. No, he's going to stay away from that one. Jeff, do you collect anything else besides books? I did collect comic books. For a while, I did collect music. I would go to the record store, go to the import section, and try to get every B-side from Metallica and Anthrax and Megadeth. I would do that. But no, that's it. I collect dust on my soul. My soul is stagnant. My life is in stasis. So I collect dust. I want to collect Hibbins knives. There's so many things I would love to collect. I think I'm forgetting. I mean, I collect Lebowski stuff. Big Lebowski. But it's books, man. It's always been books with me. Always. It's to the core. I've been trying to get Encyclo to get me the rights to Greasy Strangler. Jeff has a huge toenail clipping collection. Only from certain stars. Nope, just showing your age, Jeff. What? Huh? What are you talking about? No, I'm not doing River's Edge. But if anyone else does it but me, I'll riot. I will riot too. Glover, not Plummer. Crispin Glover. That's right. Yes. Good night, Kevin. Good night. Good to see you here. Like from back when Metallica were a metal band 30 years ago. Yes. I remember Lars would get so pissed off. You can't go to the import sections. The artists don't make any money off of imports. And he was the one that took down Napster. And I gotta say, in theory, I agree with Lars about protecting intellectual property. Yes, I agree. and we want these artists to make money. But musicians don't really make money. It's like the publishing game. They don't make all that much money off the record sales. The money unless they produce it themselves, unless they do the distribution themselves. But the money they make is off of promoting it, the tours, the gigs. That's where they make the money. Merch, like shirts and stuff. Because otherwise the music industry, the record labels take all that money. Or a lot of it. Prince, the great Prince, would talk about that too, about all the money he was screwed out of. Greasy Strangler, as in the movie from just a few years back, that's weird, but great, but weird movie. Yeah. Yes, Peter, that's the one. Wow. Mitch has never known Metallica to be a heavy metal band. No, he hasn't. It's totally, he's like, oh, those weird old guys. That would be awesome. They're still a metal band, just not a thrash band. I bought 72 Seasons, and there are 3 songs on there I really like. Now I need to see the Strangler and how greasy he is. Everyone has to watch Greasy Strangler. I gotta see it. Hilarious and grotesque. Sounds perfect. No spoilers, you need to see it. Oh my god. Okay, Greasy Strangler. We gotta see it, Jill. Alright. I gotta see it. Alright. So that's about all the gas I have in the tank tonight. I'm gonna cut out of here. I know I've said things that are gonna get me canceled. So please pile on with your receipts or your hearsay, because the sooner I get canceled, the better. But then again, Mitch died. Mitch was born for all our sins. And that's great. But they made Stranger Things cool. Oh, they did. Yes, they did. But that's when they were a metal band. See, that's a song from when they were metal. Good night, everyone. See you all next Monday. Have a great week. You too, number 1. Take it easy. Scully, good to see you. Added to the list, Peter. Yes. Have a great night, everyone. Have a great night. Great show. Thank you. Everyone have a great week. Go read The Store and join up in the book club and have a fun time talking about it. It'll be a blast. I promise you. I can almost guarantee it.